Alright, analyzing the Shadow of the Erdtree thing.
Peggy 16.
Pure and radiant, he wields love to shrive clean the hearts of men.
Okay, so I was right here. You are gonna be entering the DLC through Mikola's cocoon in Moog's little, weird sex dungeon.
There is nothing more terrifying.
Okay, so I don't know if this is the being told from the perspective of the bad guys or what, but he was saying he shrives clean the hearts of men, which means absolving them of their sins. There's nothing more terrifying. Now, why would that be terrifying? Is this being told by the bad guys? Or is the implication that Mikola has somehow gone astray and started forcing his own version of morality on others? Or perhaps become completely corrupted? See if ghost creatures are here. This shadow realm or whatever where this takes place may be some type of purgatory. Okay, so here we see this. This is what I'm hoping is not some type of Deathblight Erdtree, because it's got the color scheme of Deathblight, but this could very well be a just a burning Erdtree as the burning progresses. You can also see right here, it almost looks like a guy throwing his arms up with some kind of cry of agony going on, almost like a person burning. I wonder if that's some type of hint that the Erdtree is sentient or something. This thing right here. I think this is the eclipse thing. I don't know if you remember the lore behind Castle Sol and the eclipse Shodel. The eclipse is related to Mikola and his followers. This may also be another sign that this is going to be a Deathblight-centric DLC, which I'm really rooting against, but the Eclipse Shodel is a Deathblight weapon. This guy here, while this guy looks cool and I would be interested to steal his armor set and weapon, this guy I don't think is going to be a major character. He gives me sort of Crucible Knight energy, like he might be sort of a mini-boss.
In that forsaken place, blood must spill.
Okay, so this right here, this is clearly not Vare, but the white mask may be on the same side as Vare. Also in a swampy kind of area that's purple, so the memes about how this DLC is going to have a swamp that inflicts sleep buildup, those may actually come true. Okay, so this thing. This character here, I've seen arguments about whether this is a man or a woman. I'm pretty sure it's a man. What I'm more interested in is whether this is a king or whether this is some type of bishop. Because he's sitting on a throne, but he also appears to be in some type of cathedral.
Blood of your fellows.
He also has main villain energy. Like, this is JRPG final boss kind of energy. This could be like some type of anime villain almost. I mean, he looks like he would be some snotty, untouchable official.
The Erdtree faithful.
Okay, so this here, I think this might actually be the woman who was wearing the white mask. I'm not basing that on a lot other than the braids. The braids here are very strange too, because it almost looks like the braids themselves are meshing into some type of scarf or something. Or maybe the whole thing is some type of scarf. I don't know. The dress here is actually kind of familiar. Like, it reminds me of Fia's kind of how Fia dresses. And this old dude, the old dude at first, for some reason, I thought he was gonna be Gold Mask. The more I think about it, the more I think that's not the case. He may be sitting on a throne here, though. This may be some type of lord. You got the shitty hero's grave. I bet they're gonna put a chariot in here.
They were never saints. They just happened.
Okay, so they're saying they were never saints, they just happened to be on the losing side of a war. Obviously referring to the fire giants. This right here appears to be some kind of a mix between the Rotten from DS2 and Fire Giant. Kind of giving Wicker Man vibes. I think he may be one of those enemies that's just like composed of a bunch of corpses. I think this guy is a giant sentient burning corpse cage.
To be on the losing side of a war.
These things better not give you some kind of god-awful debuff when they do this, because this looks like something that would steal your insight in Bloodborne. So, we saw what was Sirach's head, and this is some Omen character's foot. This looks like Morgoth's foot. I know that's very Miyazaki coded to be able to recognize someone by their feet, but hear me out here. This is definitely either a mix between an Omen and Sirach, or this is an Omen wearing Sirach's corpse as some type of helmet cape thing. So what could have happened is Morgoth and Sirach died in the same area. So they could have either gone to this purgatory shadow realm thing together, or Sirach could have died for real and Morgoth cheated death once again like he did when he fought you as Margit the Fell Omen. And either way, either they formed some kind of symbiosis, or one just kind of used the other, you know, just wore his corpse. Either way, this seems to be a fusion between Morgoth and Sirach. This thing here, first I thought this was Deathblight, but did you see how it was blocked by a shield? I don't think that's Deathblight. This is some type of, looks like he's using his breath to send out shrapnel at you. It's almost like he's using his mouth as some type of blunderbuss. They could call it, I don't know, storm breath, rock breath, something like that. You might actually, after you beat him, get this kind of attack. I could see this becoming a player attack.
Mother, wouldst thou truly lordship sanction in one so bereft?
Okay, so this guy here, a lot of people think this is Rykard. I don't think this is Rykard for reasons that I'll get into later. But this guy clearly has some kind of dragon imagery going on. He's got dragon eyes, he's got a dragon helmet, he uses fire. The snakes that are growing out of him, similar to the way they're used in Dark Souls with Gwendolyn, the snakes may be, I think in Japanese mythology, being born with snakes as a body part is some kind of sign of being an illegitimate child. This guy has red hair, clearly of Radagon's lineage, so this could be Radagon's bastard child. He's talking about his mother somewhere too. I I don't think Marika would be his mother if he is a bastard child of Radagon. I mean, I guess the snakes could represent some kind of weird self-incest thing too. I mean, no one ever said they couldn't, but I don't know. This guy may just be a rehash of Gwendolyn, actually, except with fire instead of sorcery.
Bereft of light.
Yeah, he's talking about trusting someone bereft of light. Maybe throwing shade at Mikola. I like this. This looks like we're going to get a new incantation that casts sleep over a wide area. So there will be a way to reliably tranquilize enemies without having to use a bunch of consumables every time. And we've got flying kung fu too. My Dex character is gonna love that.
I presume
Is that the player character throwing that giant fire pot? I just realized that looked more like a player character than anyone else on screen there.
you are keen to know
Crossbow's gotta be annoying, so.
just what kind Mikola is doing here.
Okay, so I don't know what that bear thing was, but this woman here in red, I'm interested in her because it's her against what looks to be a samurai starting class Tarnished. Okay, so the closest character I can think of who's mentioned in the game to this sort of sword dancer woman in red is the Flowing Swordsman. But I think the Flowing Swordsman is actually like confirmed to be a dude, and also wears blue instead of this red thing. The aesthetic is similar enough to the snake guy that, like, maybe this could be someone related to him. I don't know though. This looks like it's gonna be a cool character. Probably field boss here. You can see he's powering up his lance with, like, it looks like a mixture of lightning and sleep. That's gonna be a lot of fun to deal with. Okay, so some people think that this is gonna be Radon. I see why. Okay, it's a dude on a horse. The horse looks miserable and frail. But here's the thing. The great size mismatch between man and horse is no longer a thing here. So either Radon has become emaciated as he turned into this skeleton form, or this is someone else. He actually kind of looks like Nishandra. The boomerang does look similar to Radon's curved sword in some ways. I don't know. I'd say this has some shot of being an undead Radon, but I wouldn't count on that.
Those stripped.
This guy, lots of people are interested in this guy. I'm pretty sure this is the old dude from the painting earlier in the trailer. And this does give kind of Gold Mask energy still. You know, he's got what appears to be a giant branch of the Erdtree going down through his head. It looks like he stabbed himself with it, going down through his head, and it looks like what at first appears to be his rib cage is a continuation of this branch. So I'm not sure what exactly is going on there, but this must be some type of cleric or some type of religious holy man.
Of the grace of gold shall all meet death.
Okay, so I'm gonna replay that without me yapping. I want you to hear what they say, because this is why I think that the red-haired guy who reveals his name to be Mesmer isn't a young Rykard.
Stripped of the grace of gold shall all meet death. In the embrace of Mesmer's flame.
Okay, so he says, those stripped of the grace of gold shall all meet death in Messmer's flame. Now, either that means he's a really hardcore Golden Order fanboy who thinks anyone outside their order is trash and should be exterminated, or he is specifically hating on the Tarnished and wants to do away with them. Neither one would make sense for Rykard, because Rykard hated the Golden Order and employed the Tarnished to work for him. So this guy, there's no way this guy is Rykard, despite the snakes and the fire powers.
Come now. Touch the withered arm and travel to the realm
I
of
can see how
shadow.
people would think
I will not be far behind.
his spear
May
is
we meet
similar
again.
enough to the serpent to be like a callback to that, though. I can see how people would use that to say, hey, that's Rykard. Here we have Mikola. Okay, so right here is Messmer. This guy must be the final boss of the DLC. They have him sitting here on a throne. He's the face of the DLC. He's obviously quite evil. He's got to be the final boss. Unless they did a Melania thing again and made him like the hardest boss but made him optional. They could always do that too. And it's not coming out until June, which sucks ass, but, you know, it is what it is. Anyway, yeah, lots of guesswork obviously needs to be done there, and I'm sure more and more will be revealed. Interviews with Miyazaki have already been done, which is how I got the info that this takes place in some type of Shadow Realm. I hope they don't call it the Shadow Realm, because it's like Yu-Gi-Oh! Get sued for like copyright infringement or something. But anyway, yeah, that's all I can really tell about this for now.